This doesn't mean we're friends, but I did something and I really hope I don't regret it. Lift with your knees, lift with your knees, lift with your knees. Ta-da! So here's what happened. The first thing I tried to do to keep the birds away was place tinfoil everywhere in the garden beds, wherever I noticed they were scratching and digging things up, because I figured the reflection would scare them away. It didn't. If anything, the wind blew away the foil in a matter of hours, and then the birds were back to destroying the garden. So then I came up with a little makeshift bird bath, or at least somewhere to place water so they could drink and leave the garden beds alone. And that semi-worked, but then I accidentally broke it a few days later, which is when I resorted to scare tape, which you guys see dangling down everywhere. And that worked about 95% of the way. But then there's that 5% of birds that are just not terrified of anything. And now here we are. So both of these are going to be for the birds, that way they have options, and maybe those options keeps them away from my garden beds. So first I'm going to move this. Here's what the top looks like. And here's what the bottom looks like. So it's actually supposed to go like this, but I just put it upside down. That way it holds the other piece in place. And this is actually from Pottery Barn. And then I'm gonna set this up. Okay, I think right there should be good. I want it to be right in the center of the garden. Under the middle trellis, because that trellis is gonna have a lot of roses there. So the main reason I'm setting up a bird bath and now bird food as well is because I saw a few videos of people mentioning that if you want to keep birds away from your fruits and veggies, you want to give them water and food, which sounds so counterintuitive because I feel like that would be my way of saying, hey guys, come over here, have lunch, I have breakfast, I have dinner, and if I'm ever not home, go after all the veggies. I keep telling myself it's not, but there's that part of me that's like, just you wait, give it a few weeks. Best case scenario, it works and the birds are happy that they have water and food, so they leave everything else alone. Worst case scenario, next I'm going to make some macrame hangers. I haven't made these in a very long time, so honestly, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just hoping that it works. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be functional. I'm gonna make one more knot down here. And then let's see if one of these fits in there. And yes, it does. Look at that. It's gonna work perfectly. So I think I'm just gonna tie it right here. I don't want too many things dangling down. There's already a lot of scare tape everywhere. But in this case, it's kind of necessary. Oh, that's what bird feed looks like? Okay, so how much should I put in there? Maybe like that much is good, or a little less. Maybe like that. Maybe halfway. Okay, I'll just do it halfway. The main reason I'm adding them down the center is that way in case the birds are a little bit too... Hold on, this is gonna bug me. Okay. All right. In case the birds make a mess and some of the little bird food falls down, it'll be here on the pavers. Ooh. So it'll be easier for them to find, versus if it's down the other pathways that are a little bit more narrow. I feel like if it falls down into the garden beds, they're gonna go crazy trying to find that seed. And the thing that's happening now is gonna continue happening, where they're gonna start digging things up and then making a mess down the pathways. So down the center is the way to go for now. The DIY bird bath I'm gonna place over here because there was quite a bit of a mess where the birds were picking at the mulch. I think they're still just looking for the water, and because the water comes out of the drip, I think that's why they go after it and make such a mess. So I'm gonna clear off this spot. I usually go in with the leaf blower, but because it's so early, I'm just gonna sweep it away. And then later this evening, I can come back in with the leaf blower. Where's the base? Someone pointed out that this netting might actually wind up hurting the birds if they get caught in it. So let's fix it. So the first thing I'm gonna do is remove the netting. The tomato plant was already starting to grow through it, and some of its vines are also getting stuck in it. So I guess it's a good thing we're switching over. It looks like the birds were still able to reach some tomatoes. Ta-da! Before I head inside, the last thing I'm gonna do is prune back these grapevines over here. I've been pruning them back probably once a week, and they immediately push out more growth and start heading towards the window. And whenever that happens, they start sewing themselves into the screen. Imagine a bug falls on me. I think that should be good enough. Yep. Oh no, it was just a little stick.